Welcome G3 investors. This is Greg Gallagher. It is Thursday, May 13th, 2021, and we're in the afternoon. So what I'm doing today is we're going to do something different here. I'm going to take a look at 10 trades that we have executed in May, and just to show you how, I try to teach my followers, how I trade. So the first one we're going to look at is the short trade we did on the SQQQ on May 12th, 2021. Now, before the market opens, I look at the activity on a 5-minute chart because this is a scalp trade. And so I had set the pivot at 1240, above all the activity here. And this little green bar, or pretty nice sized green bar here that happened at 8:35, was due to the CPI report that came out, and the inflation was much greater than expected. Actually, it was 3 times greater than expected. So the market panicked. Now, as a trader, I could have traded and bought this pre, but for the model, I don't do it, okay, because I'm trying to teach my investors, and a lot of them don't get up that early. At any rate, I was able to buy it at 1244, which was as close as, well, it got down lower than that, but I bought it at 1244. And this is a 2,000 share trade, which is a typical trade. So we bought 2,000 shares at 1244 on this bar right here. So that was the fourth 5-minute bar. And if you look down here, you can see it's starting, the blue, which is the fast moving average, is starting back up right here. And so that's when I bought. And of course, it went up, and the blue line crossed the red line. And so now this red line is our guide for stop out purposes, at least on a morning trade. Typically when I scalp, like with SQQQ, I'm looking for 2 trades that day. I'm going to trade it in the morning if I get the opportunity, which this was a nice opportunity. And so, and when it started to pull back here and it crossed over here, and very shortly thereafter that, I could have sold on that bar, or that bar actually sold on that bar. And I thought at this point that it was going to go down, okay? So I thought the trade was over for the day. So I bought at 1244 and sold it at 1282 with 2,000 shares. That's a 38-cent gain for that little period of time there. And so we made $760, or 3.1% on our original $24,880 investment. But what did the market do? Well, it just turned right around and said, "You're wrong, Gallagher dog. We're going right back up." And so I used my 10-cent rule, where if I'm wrong and it reverses and it went back above this blue dotted line here, so I bought back in at 1292. Now, typically I wouldn't do that until in the afternoon, because usually you have this slow period around lunch, which I call the long lunch period, from like 11:30 to 1:30, or 11 to 2, depending on the day. And you can see it did pull back here. I could have sold when it crossed the red line, but generally when I take the second position, I'm looking to hold it until the end of the day. So I held it at the end of the day, till the end of the day, and I got stopped out at 1306 for another gain of 14 cents. So on the day we made $760 on the first trade and $280 on the second. So that's about $1,000 or so. My math is terrible. That's 4.2% on that particular trade. So that was a pretty nice trading day, So, well, this is the live, and oh boy, this is the trading desk. So I've obviously gotten stopped out of my positions here. I had 3 shorts on this day, but I wanted to just talk a little bit about what the market's doing here. We've got a split tape. We've got the SPY, which is living above. It's testing its 50-day moving average here, the red line, but it's living above it. And the NASDAQ, which I'm going to look at the QQQ. One more Q, Greg. Whoops. And it's living below the 50-day. and I think the Russell is too, and the rest of the indexes are above. So we've got a split tape. So that's why I'm looking to scalp, and I would definitely not hold these positions on the short side overnight. No reason to do that. At any rate, let's just do a little bit of advertising here. Okay, this is a year to date through today, through May 13th, even though that trade took place on the 12th. We're up 32%. So if you're interested in learning how I trade, how G3 investors trade, and following along, just highlight this into your browser and sign up. This is Greg Gallagher with G3 Investors saying good luck and good trading.